Brian, Francis, hey, grab a mic and come on up.
Thank you.
These are our stars from when we recorded the affiliate training. We might as well pick their brains a little bit on how to build a buyer's list. Would you guys like to hear this?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay. These are our local internet geeks. And how many of you were not here Friday? Or you missed it, man. You missed it. You missed it. Fortunately for you, we taped it. And for a mere few $1,000s, you can get your hands on those tapes. Or maybe less. All right, you, Mike, you can have the hot seat if you want it. Okay. The one in the white, one in the white shirt is Brian. The one in the gray shirt is Francis. And Ryan came up to me while we were taking a break earlier, and he said, hey, man, I got a really cool way for you guys to build a buyer's list if you want to. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you tell them what that cool way is. And you guys can comment on it because we're getting it on tape. All right?
Absolutely. Well, Brian, it's really your method, so I'll go and let you kick it off.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Put it up a little more. If you'd wear a decent shirt, you'd have a place to put your...
Yeah. All right, is that better?
Yeah.
So I used to use this in my auto parts business. I used to send a message out to dealerships. Basically, what it comes down to is sending out an email to your target niche without worrying about getting them into an opt-in list or any legal issues, sending the people a solicited message.
All right, so what you said was we cannot send messages to people that are not on our list. That's spam.
Exactly.
However, that
This
really
is a
does-
workaround.
That really doesn't even apply to businesses, does it? Businesses who advertise their email address.
Right.
Right.
I'm not sure if you can do a blast or not that way.
You can if you have their email address.
Okay.
And if you have it, they published it. So that's the reason it's not spam. They put it out there expecting you to email to them, unlike consumers that you're hitting with spam.
Brian's method here kind of goes around what they would normally publish their email address. So that actually the email addresses that he's getting to are the ones that go directly to someone. So you're actually coming in sort of as a client or a prospect of theirs, so they read it more openly
Okay.
than someone else's.
All right, so tell us the plan, and then we'll discuss these steps.
Okay. So basically, you'll have your VA, you'll give them a canned message to go to mortgage broker websites and go to their Contact Us page. So most businesses have a Contact Us page, and when you submit something on the Contact Us page, not only do you not have to worry about not having them on a list or anything like that, but they're most likely going to read 100% of those because it's usually a lead for their business. So you'll have them, because mortgage brokers are having troubles qualifying loans, you'll have a canned message, something to the effect of, and Francis and Ron may be able to help out with what to send to them, but something to the effect of, we know it's really tough to write loans right now, and you probably have a lot of people coming to you that you can't qualify. If you have people that have at least, you can come up with your own number, but at least $2,000 to put down, you just can't seem to qualify them right now, I'll put them into one of my homes, and not only can we work out something where you get a spiff up front, but when I've had them season the loan long enough, I'll bring them back to you so you can write the loan. So basically, normally a mortgage broker would throw those leads out when they can't qualify them, and they may not even get back in touch with them again. This is a chance for them to make money right up front off of their trash leads, and they have the opportunity, knowing that you're going to put them in a loan home and season the loan, where they can potentially write that loan later.
That's great. I want even better. I want to do the same thing with realtors.
Yeah, so basically,
There's 50 times more of them.
you're turning their trash into treasure, and you're having the mortgage brokers do all the work for you. So instead of going out there trying to find people that can qualify and the buyers for you, you have somebody that's already spending their own money to solicit these people, and you're telling them how much you want down.
And realtors, my goodness gracious, there ain't a realtor out there selling houses that doesn't have a list this long of people they'd love to put in a house, but they just can't get them qualified. So, and your message should clearly denote, please do not send me anybody that does not have any money. Send me anybody that has over $4,000 or $5,000 that wants to get into a home of their own, and I'll put them into my lease purchase program and help them get into a position to where they can ultimately get qualified. And then, of course, here comes this compensation to the realtor, compensation to the mortgage broker discussion. Can I do that? Can I pay them legally? You know what? You can pay anybody you want legally. It's their problem, not your problem. If they want to accept the money, then they'll accept the money. Truth is, there's nothing illegal about them referring somebody to you. A realtor can refer you a client, and what they get, they can call it a commission if they want to. They're licensed. A mortgage broker, now you can't make a loan for somebody and pay a mortgage broker cannot share commissions with somebody that's not a mortgage broker. But are you sharing commissions? Are you getting them a loan? No, they're just sending you a lead. They're performing a marketing function. You're paying them for a lead. You're not paying them for anything that has anything to do with mortgage origination. They get paid for that when your buyer does get cleaned up on the back end. Is that making sense to you? Now, will some of them have different opinions about what you can and you cannot do? All right, what do you care? The ones who want to check, we'll work with. The ones who don't, take a hike. Can you imagine the flow of buyers' leads you're going to get from a handful of realtors that are actively selling properties, and all mortgage originators and mortgage brokers have a list this long? So your buyers list will grow huge. You just got to figure out what you want to compensate them and clearly tell them. Clearly tell them. That's a great idea. So now, how do I find the list first? How do I find the list of mortgage brokers to email to?
Go ahead.
So basically, you'll have your virtual assistants use Google Maps. And
Google Maps?
yeah, you'll tell them, I want to have you locate mortgage broker sites within a certain mile radius. So you'll tell them how far. Google Maps will locate people on a...
What do you care where they're at?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
But, I mean, I
Does
guess
not matter.
I would start as close
As long
I
as
could.
they're in the city, doesn't make any difference where they're at.
So they just log on to Google and type in mortgage brokers and go through the list of Google Maps. It starts...
I don't understand what Google Maps has to do with getting the list, since I'm not area specific now.
It'll just pull the city, everyone in that city.
It's just starting close. You can go as far,
Okay.
wide of
So
reach as you
tell
want.
me exactly what to do. I know how to punch up Google Maps. I can get that far. Okay, now what? I wish I had no computer up here. Okay, I get to Google Maps, now what?
The keyword's basically mortgage brokers Jacksonville.
Okay, so I go to the keywords and I put in mortgage brokers Jacksonville.
Yes, or whatever city.
Actually, it should be mortgage brokers, mortgage originators, mortgage processors.
Each one
right.
of those would be an individual search. So mortgage originators
Okay.
Jacksonville, mortgage brokers Jacksonville, have your VA do that one at a time.
And then it pumps up a list.
Correct.
And then, of course, if I go to their site, there's the contact us.
Yes.
And your VA puts the same message in every single one of them. A little grunt work involved, right? But only once, only about once a month. And by the way, when they do it the first time, they're going to keep the list, so they just go back and do it a month later again, right? God, you guys ain't going to be able to handle the leads from just this alone. Like, we can just quit. This is how you sell houses. Let's go home. Huh?
The most important
All right.
thing is when you submit your email to these people, to these brokers, whoever you're going after, is to make sure it sounds personal. You cannot have it sound like a canned spam message that someone's copying and pasting. So that's a little bit of copywriting. Maybe your VA takes a look at their website and inserts their name, things like that to make it sound personal. Because if it looks like a spam message, they're going to hit delete because that form gets
Well-
used by spam.
Well, if their name is published on the site, the person you're emailing to just had the VA say, "Hey, John."
Hey,
Right?
John, thanks for putting the site up. Maybe mention something on the site that caught their eye of why they would want to work for them. If they have accolades on the site, have your VA kind of insert that accolade in that message. But the main content of that message stays the same. It's exactly what the purpose is.
Yeah, and I don't think it has to be that personal. I mean, if they know you're in their city, and that you're looking for buyers in their city, as far as I'm concerned, that's personal enough.
Yep.
They'll certainly respond. All right, anything else? That's good stuff.
I just wanted to add that this works so well because your open rate is nearly 100%. Because normally these are leads coming in their site, and they're getting an increase in their income for not doing anything different than
Yeah.
what they normally would. So it's
Yeah.
like a no-brainer for them to give you these leads.
And while you're at it, I'd have your VA take the same list and do a follow-up 3 days later. Say, "Hey, haven't heard from you yet. Did you get my email?" And then you know, have it threaded so it's on top of the email you sent 3 days earlier. Guys with me? Got it? Pretty good stuff, eh? All right. All right. Any other?
If you're so inclined to have your VA, they can also call as well. The phone number's there. Obviously, I'm
Okay.
responding to an email, so that's another way to do it multidimensionally.
I'm going to put you on the spot the other day. I might as well put you on the spot today, too. Okay, I'm building an email. First of all, I've got a simple site set up to where I can capture names of potential buyers, and I got a simple sheet on there where they can put in the information of what they're looking for and how much money they got and how much they want to pay per month and their email address and their phone number, and that's pretty much all I care about, to tell you the truth. All right, now how am I going to load that site up with buyers? I want 500 people on my list, and I'm going to give you 5 days just because I'm generous, after which time you're dead. What am I going to do?
I'm going first.
Okay, he's going first.
But
He's learned.
testing. Testing. Good?
Yeah.
I'm going first this time because I learned my lesson yesterday. Or on Friday. But the first strategy I would use for local buyers is probably press releases.
Press releases.
Using press release. So if you weren't here on Friday, what a press release is a website that allows you to create a sort of an article or a document that you would get out to the media. And there's several free press release sites. The one I will give you right off the top of my head, probably the most powerful one, is prlog.com, or .org, I'm sorry, prlog.org.
prlog.org. Okay?
And this will allow you to write about a 500-word press release about what your service is.
And this press release will be about how we are catering to all of those people who can't get qualified for loans, and we'll, 82% of the people cannot qualify for loans that want to buy a house. We do not believe that that should stop them from buying a house. We understand that if they've lost their credit, does not make them bad people, and we're on a mission to get people into houses and turn this economy around.
Exactly.
Is that good? All right, that's the press release.
That's it.
That's the press release.
So
Okay.
exactly what Ron said, put that in your press release, talk about your local area, and have everything go to your squeeze page. Now, if you don't want to use a free tool, I would
Please,
actually...
page, stop now. This is a real estate class.
That's right.
Okay.
Sorry. Your lead capture page where you're getting their information that you've already set up.
I just described.
That Ron just described, exactly.
You guys go to jaxhomedeals.com. Jax Home Deals, J-A-X homedeals.com. You'll see my website that they set up, incidentally, and you'll see the page that we have on there to capture that information. Look, I don't care if you just do some simple little page. Hey, we'll sell you this house, we lease option, no bank qualified, blah, 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 blah. You can take a copy right off my site and then guide them right to that page. In fact, it's probably even better if you just had those two things on that page. And so you can capture get them on your buyer's list. That's all you care about. Now, of course, you're supposed to have the houses you have for sale on the same site. But, even if you don't have that, I still don't care. I want them on the buyer's list. That's the most important asset you got in selling houses, is that buyer's list, okay? So prlog.org
is the free
create a
one.
press release.
Yes.
And then there you put your URL that drives them to your site, that tells them what you do, that captures your names if they're interested,
Correct.
okay? And these press releases cost nothing.
Those press releases cost nothing. If you've never written a press release before, you can have someone write them for you using a service called textbroker.com.
textbroker.com. Wow. Where's the work in this? There ought to be some work somewhere.
Not sure about that.
All right. But in the sake of time, I got to move on. This is Bernard. This is Francis's brother, the smarter brother of the two, I think. Just give him the mic. Let him tell him who they are very quickly. Microsoft guy here.
Hi guys, I flew in here from Seattle just to be here at the event. I used to work at Microsoft for 4 years, helped them start Ad Center, which is pretty much Google AdWords, but for Microsoft Ad Center.
Okay.
So I know exactly what everyone's searching for online, and I know how to get you leads.
Okay.
So to add to Francis's thing, when you are doing the press releases, make sure that you actually do it in a local area, so you can actually select where those press releases are going to be shown. So you can select Jacksonville, Florida. You can select all the surrounding areas. and they give you about 5 options, so make sure that you select it locally.
Okay?
But the fastest thing that I would do is actually I would go right to Google AdWords, because 80% of searchers are on Google. And that's the highest searched, it's actually the #1 search engine in the world. So if you can think about it, the top site is Google, second site is Facebook, and the third is like YouTube. If you go to Google AdWords, you can set up an account, and you can set it up for free, because all you do is type in Google AdWords coupon in Google, and you'll find a $100 coupon floating around there, so you get free advertising. And all you need to do is call up Google, and they'll set up the Google AdWords for free for you, because if you're a new advertiser, what they offer is called a quick start program. That means you have 30 days with a Google representative who will build your account, find the keywords, create the ad for you. All you need to do is give them that squeeze page or that landing page that Francis was talking about, and they'll do all the work for you. So now I'll give you two things here. One is a Google AdWords rep, and you also have $100 to use for advertising.
So we're talking about pay-per-click here, and we're going to just bid on keywords that drives them to our same site, that tells them what we do, and puts them on our buyers list.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you think we ought to be bidding on these kind of keywords just off the top of your head without doing any research?
Well,
Since you're on the spot and your life is on the line.
Absolutely. You don't need to do any research, because a Google AdWords rep will do it for you, and they'll give you the minimum bid for you.
There you go.
So what I like to do is start on the lowest possible bid, because you want to see if it's working or not. And again, you have the $100 to play with. And once you get that $100 all spent and you have all the data, you can see which keywords are working and which ones are not, and only start bidding on the ones that are working.
There you go. Who would pay a penny for a buyer's name? Who would pay a dime? Who would pay $1? Guess which of the three of you is going to be the most successful? Ye who will pay the most to get the customer will always outdistance ye who won't in any industry. And frankly, if you think about the dollars that you guys can bring in for the small amount of risk you got to take on the front end, and if it costs you $1 a name to put somebody on your buyer's list, who cares? Who cares? Of course, that's actually money you have to spend, so that sucks, right? So if you don't like that plan, then you can go do the PR. It's free. All right. Google AdWords, and who should be doing all of that crap he just said? How about your VA? All right. So let's. Oh, you got a mic? Okay. All right. You're the last one. What's the third hottest thing we can do to get buyers? You're on.
I'm going to say that as the world's laziest marketer, I'm going to go with my original idea and have a VA reaching out to mortgage brokers and realtors, because I'd rather have them spend their time, their money, and just give me the bread and butter.
Well, that's fair enough. You can claim that one since you came up with it. Okay. Then I guess you live. All right. Between the three of these things, do you guys see that there is literally no chance that your buyer's list won't be huge? Hello? Yes. And do you see that if everybody in your community knew these three things, they'd also have a big buyer's list instead of whining why they have so much trouble finding buyers? Yes? And who's doing all the work? Your VA, because I want you to be just like him, lazy. Ye who is the laziest makes the most money. As long as they don't misinterpret the less I do, the more I make, does not mean sit on the couch and hope. Hope is not a business strategy. That means we get other people to do this little stuff for us and bring in the leads. So thank you, gentlemen. That was great input. I'm glad we got it on tape.